Now, my question is, are LED headlights really safe? Welcome back to another episode. I hope everybody is feeling well. All right, today we're going to talk about safety. A little bit of safety. Now, we have got a lot of snow here in southern Ontario. I'm actually really surprised on how much snow we got. If you remember, quite a few months ago, I swapped out my headlights for LED headlights. Now, my question is, are LED headlights really safe? Well, let me tell you. To answer that question, yes and no. Talk about being general. All right, so honestly, it really depends on where in the hemisphere you are going to be, where you're going to be wheeling. Now, if you take down closer to the equator or a little bit further south of Ontario, maybe a place where there's no snow. Absolutely, I think so, yes. Now, why did I mention snow? To answer that question, we ask ourselves, why do we really go with LED lights? So there are a couple of maybe three reasons why. The main reason is because it's low wattage. Two, we can actually get brighter lights, like brighter lumen lights because of that low wattage. Three, it's just more energy efficient. Now, because of it being energy efficient, it produces less heat. Producing less heat means that your bulbs, your headlamp, runs cooler. Now, like I said, if you're running down in an area where there is no snow, where the environment itself is not as cold, that is absolutely fine. Having less heat in the northern hemisphere or where it snows, it's not good, because what ends up happening is if you're running in a snowstorm, you get a lot of accumulation of snow and ice. Now, with the traditional filament bulbs, because that they run warm or they run hot, so the bulb generates heat and is able to keep that headlamp or even tail lamps warm. So about maybe 10 years ago, yes, 10 years ago, I used to do long haul truck driving, and it's probably around the same time the company that I worked for started switching over to LED taillights. They were saying that because of how efficient they are, it works, it's not as hard on the electrical systems on the truck. Makes sense until we started running in the winter. I'm telling you right now, at one point in a snowstorm, and it wasn't like heavy crazy snow, but in a snowstorm, I had to pull over about 20 minutes to 30 minutes to dig snow out of the taillights, and that was because there was no heat being produced to warm or to melt the snow and ice. So the last two snowstorms that we had here in Ontario, that's exactly what happened. And traveling to work at like 5 o'clock in the morning when it's still nighttime, and I was literally losing visibility within minutes because of the accumulation of snow. So, how to combat that? Well, there's a couple of ways that we can do. Is go back to traditional filament bulbs, like the xenons and stuff, or we can do like HIDs. Now, LED lights, I really like the fact that it literally shines up anything, and anything that is reflective, it pops. Like, it literally stands out, especially with certain unmarked vehicles that like to hide in the dark. With the LEDs, it doesn't allow them. Anyway, so I want to stick with LEDs, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because there is this brand new product from this particular manufacturer, and it's heat injected LEDs. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, here we go. This is it. By Enthuze premium heat injected LED lights, 5,000 lumens. Now, question is that 5,000 for both or 5,000 for one? I don't know. Anyways, here's the key thing. It melts snow and ice. Now, let me tell you, the way that they did this was actually pretty genius. And it was such a simple fix. I will get to that in a second. Let's go ahead, unbox this, take a look at what's in this thing, and then we'll put it onto the truck. Do this. All right, so we're looking at this, 5,000 lumens. For the truck, it's H13s. And where did I see this? The very more important is this one here. is 6500K, 6500 Kelvin, which tells you the color temperature. So that's going to be pretty close to what I already have. That kind of like whitish bluish. I like to call it a crystal blue look. So that should stay the same. The ones I have on there right now is 6000. So maybe this might be a little bit bluer. We'll find out until we put it in there. All right, let's open it up. See what comes inside the box. Man, that's simple. Literally, these are dual high beam and low beam lights, so it works out really well. All right, let's take one out. All right, there we go. There's the ballast. There's the OEM plug. We have this right here. There you go. How it works. I'm not an engineer, I'm just going on by what I see. Now on the other LED light that I have, all the ventilation, you can see the fan on the back, you know, it pushes out. What I see so far and how they did that is that actually the ventilation, instead of the heat getting thrown into the engine bay, it looks like the heat actually gets thrown into the headlamp itself. So they reverse the heat exhaust. And by doing so, it fills the inside of the headlamp with warm, possibly hot air, warm enough to melt the snow off of your headlights. Now that's what I'm talking about. That is super smart. All right, so now I'm gonna have to give these guys props and kudos. Man, this was a super simple fix and it makes so much sense. All right, so I want to show something really cool here. Kind of really liking these LED lights and also have kind of high hopes for it right now. I don't know if this is gonna be a positive thing or a negative thing. Only time will tell when it gets night or when it gets dark. So as we take this out, I realize that this can actually come out. Now that's not what my high hopes are. My high hopes is by rotating the bulb within the ring, I can actually change the beam pattern on the headlight. So I can make it more sparse or more focused. Now I was just playing around with the first one and yeah, like I said, so I kind of have high hopes for this. So I can possibly actually get better headlights with the Yukon. So I'm gonna put this in and I'm gonna play around with it. So easiest way that I found was to take this apart and then put the ring inside here. Now I already fooled around with it. I have an idea of where it has to be, the position. So ideally it goes in straight, and then when it turns it kind of goes on a 45. But like I said, with the other headlight I was playing around with the light bulb and noticed that it gives a better, more focused beam pattern when the LED light is like this, not when it's like this. So I'm gonna put this in and then we're gonna see at nighttime to see on how it is. Looking forward to putting this ring in. I've noticed that it's really tight. So I had to use this, one on one side, one on the other side, and use this to twist it. But it's in there now. Then like I said, with the other one, I noticed that it was good this way. Straight in, push it in, there you go. So. Okay, so I want to show you guys what I'm talking about the beam pattern. If you guys pay attention to this right here, it'll go fat, skinny, or fat. So as I'm turning it, I don't know if you guys can notice, but the beam pattern does change. That's pretty cool. All right, so I'm gonna leave that like that, put it together, then we're gonna head off, or when it gets darker, we're gonna head off to a back road and just play around with the headlight a little bit. Hopefully this turns out good. It's absolutely phenomenal. Best part is, I got high beams that actually work. Never have I ever had high beams on this truck, on this Yukon, that works. So, I'm really, really happy about that. And these are proper high beams too. I don't know if the camera's showing it up. Yeah, you can see right there, the trees. You actually get lit up. All right, so just in case if you guys with Yukons actually did get these LED lights and you liked how the focus was on, and you like how the beam pattern that I found, here's a reference point. The LED is angled. The video. Okay, that is the end of the video. These headlights, I'm telling you right now, so far they have performed amazing, especially in the fact that I can adjust the beam pattern with the light. As for the heated injection, I have to see if there's going to be another snowstorm or another snowfall that we might get, and we might. It's just coming to the mid-March right now, so we might get another snowfall. But if not, then I'm gonna have to wait until next year, right? But the fact that I have now high beams, it's already worth it for these lights. Anyways, that is it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Think about subscribing. The summer is just about to begin. All right, the wind is picking up, of course, because I am actually recording. So with that said, stay safe. Who knows? Maybe we'll see you out there.